We have with us today Danielle O'Connor. Danny oversees our Extend Bookkeeping department. It's a very well-known department that many of our credit unions use, or you've had a hand in working with Danny directly in training or accounting, many other areas. Welcome, Danny. Tell us a little bit about Extend Bookkeeping.
Thank you, Liz. So Extend Bookkeeping does the daily work for about 75 credit unions currently today. We also process and work on your end-of-month investments, subsidiaries, and then there's also the possibility of us doing your call report on a quarterly basis. Now, for those credit unions who have an accounting team in-house, you're more than welcome to utilize our stand-in services, which we can process for you on the drop of a hat.
How have credit unions been utilizing your department to elevate their organizations?
Wonderful question, Liz. Thank you. Talking to CEOs, I've noticed that many CEOs are currently doing the accounting work on a daily basis or an end-of-month and quarterly basis. What I like to say about Extend Bookkeeping is that we're able to take that off of the CEO's plate and allow them to focus more on growing their credit union business and analyzing more of the ratios that the credit union can be handling on a daily basis, monthly and quarterly basis.
How do you guys make sure that you're handling the books like the credit union would want you to handle the books, or as if they were handling the books?
We go through policies and procedures with the credit union at the beginning of our process and make sure that we understand 100% what that credit union is handling. That could be analyzing how they process their exceptions for their credit unions and members, also analyzing their accounting work and what is needed in order to help the credit union get through that day and monthly basis.
That's awesome. Now, 2019 and 2020 has been a very unique year for all of us. So I've been thinking of it as pre-COVID, COVID, and whatever we're in right now. So how has what has changed for organizations or for Extend in the bookkeeping department this past year?
For COVID, we were actually expecting a lot more credit unions to utilize our stand-in services, but coming down to it, they were able to do an amazing job at utilizing the disaster recovery plans and kicking up their remote plan to work from home. During COVID, we had 4 credit unions utilize our stand-in services where we needed to step in while they got their remote services up and were able to focus on more functions and handling their members on a daily basis.
That's really something to say about our credit unions in the network. Maybe their IT or just their preparedness plans.
100%.
So were you ready for those credit unions to come your way? How many stand-in credit unions do you have?
Currently, we have 55 stand-in credit unions who utilize our service at a drop of a hat if they need to. Mm-hmm. We were prepared, but we did make sure that we were able to reach out to some of our partners if we needed to have more hands-in, hands-on to handle those credit unions if needed.
Yeah. That's a tough situation that our credit unions were in, but it's great that you guys were able to manage that. How do you see the bookkeeping departments, yours or maybe credit unions, evolving in the year ahead of us?
In Extend Bookkeeping, we are looking to add 5 new employees. That's going to lead into the knowledge and growth of those employees to be able to handle more work such as your call report services, end-of-month services, and help Extend grow that way. We are looking to partner with CU Answers and My CU Services to handle the conversions that are currently coming up this year. This is going to help us gain knowledge and growth in the department to handle more conversions, whether that could be 4 to 2 conversions a weekend, and we'll be able to reanalyze our processes to make sure that we have the capacity and the knowledge to get through those conversions for CU Answers and My CU Services.
So you're creating more depth in the organization to take on those number of credit unions that we're really growing into.
That is correct.
What else?
During the annual planning session last August, we asked credit unions, what would you like Extend to help with? So a few of those things that I would like to bring into Extend and analyze and research to determine if that's something that we're able to take on at capacity is the assisting more with ACH audits. But I do have questions for credit unions. What does that look like for you? How can I help? where can we assist more with ACH audits? The second one would be RDC posting and processing. So right now we're helping credit unions balance RDC, but are there things that we can do more with RDC? Can we help review exceptions? Can we help post those to members' accounts? And then the third thing that we're looking at is more of the payroll service part of it. Can we post your journal entries and help you balance those GLs? If you're using a third party, they're processing all your payrolls now, but what's that step that you have to do inside for your accounting team?
I want to jump to 5300s. So 5300s, always such a unique thing that our team does. CU Base being unique in how it processes 5300s itself, but then you managing the 5300s for how many credit unions?
Right now we're currently processing 40 credit unions a quarter.
Okay, so processing all those credit unions. Now, COVID happened during a month of filing for 5300s. Did you have a lot of extensions during that?
Actually, no. The credit unions were able to extend their time frame, their deadline for their call reports 30 days out. We did have one credit union who needed to file for extension. Other than that, all credit unions were able to get their work in and month close so we could process those.
What changes can we anticipate for 5300s as far as regulatory, software changes, anything like that in the next year?
Truthfully, I don't see a lot of changes come in for NCUA for the call report. I know that we can probably expect and anticipate changes for the COVID piece of it, where we are going to see different types of codes for the specialty loans that maybe members are being offered, or even business loans are being offered. And then, of course, whether or not you're receiving grants and what those grants may have been utilized for.
So what have been some of the biggest challenges that our credit unions have seen?
Some of the biggest challenges that we've been experiencing and credit unions have been experiencing is the ACH stimulus checks that have been coming through from the feds. This has caused more processing time, more manual work, more reviewing these transactions, making sure that they're correct members, and whether or not they need to be returned. A lot of also have been experiencing the unemployment fraud. That has been a huge conversation topic for a lot of credit unions, making sure that they're not liable for certain amounts that are coming through and members taking the funds, and what's really going to happen with those transactions as it falls into play.
Yeah, one of the challenges with us filming this now and it being released in a couple weeks from where we are today is that this may get worse or it may get better, but it is definitely something that we want to talk about and make sure that everyone's aware of and let you know that there's a resource out there for you to reach out to if you need it. This last year, you've been working with ATL. We've had a great opportunity to partner with them for you to come in and be a stand-in CFO type role, a stand-in accounting manager type role. How did that start, and what are some of the things that you've helped ATL with?
You know, that's a great question. So we have worked with ATL for a long time, with them being on CU Base. Robert came to us to ask us if there's any way that we could assist with their accounting work.
They're one of our first owners.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's been great. So with our daily work, we started out there. We brought them onto our daily extend bookkeeping work, made sure that we were able to process all of their exceptions and their corporate, and making sure that that part is easy enough to be done by a daily bookkeeper and extend. Then I would go out to the credit union one day a week to process all the other functionalities of accounting. That could be anywhere from assisting with ACH audits, from asking any accounting questions, reviewing their policies and procedures, and making sure that the credit unions is handling cash transactions, or making sure that the employees are following the policies and procedures that are put into place. I've also reviewed their policies and procedures and made sure that I was able to fully understand what the credit union was working on, and rewriting those policies to help better the future of ATL in the sense of making sure their policies are straightforward.
So for the auditors,
correct.
Making sure that their policies are ready for the auditors.
That's correct.
That's great. Do you think this is a service that we'll continue to offer in the future?
You know, I'd really like to see that happen. I do believe that the scope needs to be a shorter time frame, maybe a shorter scope of what work we may be doing. That could be anywhere from, coming out for 2 weeks and just being there for that credit union to figure out where they may need assistance in.
So a short stand-in CFO type, or even a inventory of audit of things that bookkeeping department or accounting department might need help with.
That is correct.
Cool. And you've enjoyed your time at ATL. We've created pretty cool relationship there.
It has been a lot of fun. The knowledge that I've learned definitely will benefit not only the credit unions, but also for Extend as well.
Yeah, it's a great start for this new offering that we're looking at. So, as we wrap this up, what would you like to leave with our clients?
What I would like to share with the credit unions is that we're here to help you. Whatever you need, you can give us a call, whether that be your daily services, whether you have questions, just know that you are not alone.
I like to think of it as the community when you need one.